Hey everybody, Tony D with a final video of the evening, a screenwriter's rant about Borat 2 coming to a theater, well, an Amazon Prime location near you, which is basically anywhere you want it to be. Um, Little Joan, by the way, had a big day. We went to a park. She saw the doggies and people. She was just going nuts. Um, and it was a big day for little doggy. So that's why she's so tuckered out, so tuckered. Um, and before we get into it, smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Please check out my books, Wokistan, a novel, and of course the Pineys books 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 5 available ebook, trade paperback, Kindle Unlimited is free. We're having a contest for book 5. If you read the book and can tell me what story the book is based on, we do a bit of a parody in book 5 of a famous story. I can't really tell you. It was a movie. Um, you will get for free. The first person to do this gets signed copies of books 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's no hard copies of 5 yet, but soon, very soon. So, Borat 2. Loved the first Borat movie. Outrageous. Sasha Baron Cohen, to me, is one of the great actors of our time. Comedically, he's a genius. I think, he takes such great risk. I mean, he really does. He gets out there. He risks guys punching him in the face all the time. So it's going to be great to see what he does with a Borat sequel. And I'm a little disappointed his buddy from the first movie isn't in it, but it looks like he's got a different sidekick, his daughter, which should be fun, and all kinds of people get involved. We're here in Kazakhstan, the beginning of the movie, of course. Some of the crazy characters from his village, and he takes off to America again. You can see how backwards and crazy Kazakhstan is. I'm not sure where they shoot this, but it looks amazing. I wonder if they actually go to Kazakhstan. Probably not. I gotta imagine that they're pretty upset by Borat, and he incorporates the fact that the first Borat movie was so popular, so people recognize him on the street, which is a huge problem for Cohen now doing these bits. He really has to disguise himself. So he goes into the Halloween shop and tries to find a disguise for himself, and he's not alone. He's got his daughter with him. There's his daughter. I'm not sure who this is, but she seems to have a good accent. Looks like she'd be fun in this movie. And so she's in on the gag, and she's doing crazy things like he is. So I'm interested to see this. Now, here's another one of his disguises. I'm not sure if this is from. He did I guess it was an HBO special where he had even more disguises, had a bunch of other characters, right, doggy? So he may be incorporating some of those disguises and or characters in this movie, which will be interesting to see. By the way, here he tells this guy, he tries to get an abortion for his daughter and confesses that he put the baby in her. Now, I don't know if the character actually did that or if he's just saying that to get a rise out of this guy. But, it sounds like something Borat would do. And then he ends up hunkering down with these two guys who are kind of hillbillies. And for some reason, they allow the cameras inside. I don't know how that works. But it looks funny. It doesn't look as outrageous as the first one, because the first one's always going to be the most outrageous. But it looks fun. I mean, it looks like it'll be at least. I mean, the first movie is so funny. I mean, if this movie is, at least. Come here, Joe. Hey, you're gonna ruin everything. You gotta ruin every take. You might as well ruin the last take of the night. So, at least if it's half as funny, I think it'll still be worth watching. Plus, it's on Amazon Prime, so if you got a Prime account, it doesn't cost you nothing. And plus, you're watching it on Prime Video. You can just zoom through the boring parts if you don't like it. And then apparently he crashed the CPAC, which is the the Republicans. Well, it's a conservative political action committee, and Pence was speaking, and he disguised himself as Trump, and carried his daughter inside as some kind of offering. So, here it is, Borat, subsequent movie film. It looks very funny, and here's again a different disguise, so he could look, people won't recognize him from the movie. October 23rd, yeah, sign me up. Fortunately, I got this is not for children under 3. So yeah, sign me up. October 25th. There's not a real narrative here. It's really just a series of bits, usually strung together. The first Borat movie was strung together with the idea that he was going to meet Pamela Anderson out in Hollywood, right? This movie seems to be strung together with the premise that he's trying to get his daughter married to someone close to Trump. And so I'm not sure how they're going to resolve that or end that. But it should be fun. Should be fun to see. I mean, it's just a joy to watch Cohen do his shtick, because he's so committed. He's 100% committed. And if somebody's going to punch him in the face, he got into trouble. He got in trouble. I heard that I don't know if he was hosting Saturday Night Live or Borat made a cameo, and he just stayed in character the whole time, and then he went out on the street, and people were, he caused people to get pissed off. I mean, to me, that's a sign that you're doing real comedy. When people are that pissed off that they want to punch you, yeah, you're doing something amazing. And Cohen he's got great presence. He's 100% committed to his characters, and he's just a little bit nuts. So, from that perspective, I think it'll be a great movie. Now, from a screenwriter perspective, there's not much of a screenplay here. I don't think Cohen really writes down a whole lot, because a lot of it's improv. I think he gets in the character, he gets deep in the character, and then creates situations where he could react to. And I'm sure there's a bunch of hours of other footage that, it's just him talking to people that just goes nowhere. And then, they just edit down the best parts. And yeah, there are a few scenes that are scripted, but I think for the most part, it's a very loose kind of thing. I don't think, it's really an actor's movie. And because Cohen has such a presence, such comedic timing, all on his own, he doesn't need a plan. He doesn't need, every word scripted from end to end, because part of the joy of watching him is you don't know what the hell's going to happen. You don't know what he's going to get people to say or do. And his character is so crazy and weird to begin with. He sometimes sucks people in to saying and agreeing with things that they should not be agreeing to. I mean, he got sued. I think he got sued by those, I want to say the college kids who got into his RV, right? Or was it their RV? I don't remember. And, I think they ended up suing him, if I'm remembering correctly, because, the way they came off, they looked bad in the movie, but it was funny. And at the end of the day, who remembers it? It's been years. It was a great scene. It was funny. They got sucked in and at a vulnerable moment, and and people say things. One of the funniest things you can do when you're doing a bit, and we did this one time in my improv group, is to get people to see if you can get people to lie. And if you can get them to lie, and tell an outrageous lie, and then you just keep pushing them a little more. You get them to lie a little bit first, and then you push it further and further and see how far they're willing to go. And then until finally they're like, oh, no, I'm not going to say that. We used to do, our bit was we did fake surveys. And so in the middle of the survey, we might say, listen, is it okay that I say, if it would be some young 20-something, it'd be okay if I say you're 48, because we already interviewed quite a lot of 20-year-olds, and you're like, oh yeah, you can just say I'm 48. All right. Would it be okay if I said you're a man, because I see that you're a woman, but you know, it's okay if I say you're a man because we don't have enough men. Yeah, I guess. Like, you just keep pushing it further and further until finally they see when they break. And it's funny. It's funny to watch them kind of squirm like, oh, shoot, I shouldn't have done this. What are you doing? And then, you know, I don't know if Cohen eventually lets them in on the joke, but we did after a while sometimes. But again, Borat's just great. I'll certainly be watching. So look for that October 23rd on Amazon Prime. That's the last video of the night. Joan and I will see you tomorrow.